So we'll be starting today with this lecture in which we'll be solving numerical. These are the three spheres, or these are three cylinders, and what is given is the weight of the cylinder is given 75, 200 and 100 newtons, and the radius of the cylinder is given A, B and C. Okay, so they are placed in a rectangular container sort of thing. The width of the container is 450 mm. We need to neglect the friction between the container and the cylinder, and we need to determine the reactions between the cylinder A and the vertical wall. So the only reaction that we need to determine is this reaction. Okay, so this reaction, to get this reaction we need to actually solve all of them, because directly we cannot get this reaction, right? So we understand that all these cylinders which are having the contact with the rectangular this thing ditch, so it is going to produce a reaction at that point, right? So to understand that which cylinder we should start with, whether we should start with A, B or C, we should actually draw the free body diagrams, and only then we'll understand that which cylinder we should start with. So drawing the free body diagram of this A, we have its weight which is 75. We have a reaction from the bottom which I would call it as RAV, vertical reaction. We have this reaction, I'll call it as RAH. Then we have a reaction from the sphere, the cylinder B. This is the reaction, I'll call it as RBA. Okay, moving on to cylinder B. It's a little bit bigger cylinder with a radius of 150 mm. Its weight is 200 newtons. Then the reactions that it is getting is from A, I'll call it as RAB. RAB and RBA both are equal but opposite in direction. Then we have this reaction from the vertical wall, I'll call it as RBH. And then finally we draw for C. We have the weight which is 100 newtons. Then we have a reaction. Okay, we also have a reaction of RCB which is acting here, right? This is a reaction RCB. And then we have this reaction RBC. Correct, RBC is there. We have this RCH. That's it. On cylinder C we have only these three reactions. So on cylinder A, if you see, we have 4 reactions. On cylinder B also we have 4 reactions. On cylinder C we have only 3 reactions. So the easiest one to start with is C, because we can apply a Lami's theorem to it. It has, and the entire system is under equilibrium, right? Nothing is moving. So when the entire system is under equilibrium and we have only 3 forces, in such a scenario we can apply the Lami's theorem. Now to apply Lami's theorem, what we need to understand is this angle, because see, the angle between your RCH and 100 Newton is 90, so that need not be found out separately, but we need to find this angle between RBC and this 100 Newtons. So how to find that? If I draw a vertical from here like this is the angle that we need, correct? So what I can do is, in this right angle triangle, you see one right angle triangle is being formed. I either need this vertical height or I either need this horizontal distance. Which is easier to find, or which we can find, that we'll see. So what is given is the width of this container is 450 mm. The radius we know here, the radius of C is 125, the radius of B is 150. So 450 minus 125 minus 150, you will get this distance, right? So 175 is the distance. So what we can do is, we can either find this angle or we can find this angle. Both of them is fine with us. So let us say that angle is alpha. So alpha is cos inverse of 175 upon 125 plus 150. alpha comes out to be 50.4788 degrees. Similarly, on similar principles, we can find beta. Let's say this angle is beta. So to find beta, I know that this is 150, this is 100. I need this distance. Okay. Now you see that this is not necessarily tangent here. I mean, you cannot take this as 150. You do not know that whether this horizontal line that I am drawing, whether it touches this point or whether it does not touch that point. So when you do not know, when you're not fixed about something, you should never take that dimension. So the fixed dimension that we can surely say is this one, which is 450 minus 100 minus 150, which comes out to be 200, I think. Yes. So beta we can find as sine inverse of 200 by 100 upon 100 plus 150. So beta comes out to be 53.1301 degrees. Okay. Now we can start with FBD of C. We have 75 newtons acting downwards. Sorry, I think for C it is 100 newtons, right? 100 newtons acting downwards. And we have RC, we have RCB, the reaction from the cylinder B. We know the angle alpha. So for Lami's theorem to work, what we have to do is that the tail of all the forces, either the tail of all the forces or the heads of all the forces. So if this is a force, this we call it as head, this we call it as tail. So you need to bring either the tail of all the forces at single point, or you need to bring head of all the forces at single point. Okay, so I bring all the tail of the forces at a single point, and since I know this angle is alpha, this would be 90. This is alpha, this is 90 minus alpha, this is 90 minus alpha, and this is again 90. Right? So from this we can find all the angles. So we get these angles as 129.5212, 140.4788 and 90 degrees. Okay, so now we can apply the Lami's theorem to this. So it is 100 upon the sine of angle opposite to them, which is 129.5212, is equal to RCB upon sine of 90 is equal to RC upon sine of 140.4788. So we get RCB and we get RC. Alright. Now we know RCB. When I draw the FBD of B, first is the weight of that cylinder, which is 200 newtons. Then we have RB, the horizontal reaction here. Then we have this RCB or RBC, what we can call it, which we already know, and RBA is the one which we have to find. RBA and RB, both we have to find. RBA, why we need it? Because when we take the FBD of cylinder A, that time we need the RBA. So which angles do we know here? We know this beta, then we know this alpha. So this is alpha, this is beta, this is 90 minus beta, this would be again 90 minus beta, this is 90 minus alpha, and this is also 90 minus alpha. So this way we can find all the angles. But actually, do we need all the angles? The thing is that we are not going to apply Lami's theorem to this, because we have four forces, four concurrent forces, and Lami's theorem can only be applied to 3 concurrent forces. So here we cannot apply Lami's theorem, and since we are not applying Lami's theorem, it's not required to find all the angles. So we know this beta and we know alpha. That is the only thing which is required. So what we will do is, since the entire system is under equilibrium, you can apply conditions of equilibrium also. So applying conditions of equilibrium, Lami's theorem is just a part of condition of equilibrium, and Lami's theorem is a special case when we have only 3 forces. That time it is a simplification, we can use Lami's theorem. But when there are more than 3 forces, that time you cannot apply it. right? So we get, when we apply summation fx equals to 0, so this is acting downwards, this is acting right, this is acting upwards, this is acting rightwards. So 129, I have taken this angle, so which is I have taken 90 minus alpha. So 129 sine of this angle plus RBA, because see, we are taking our sine convention this way, x and y. So rightwards is positive, upwards is positive. So this right force is positive, this force is positive, minus RB is equal to 0. I'll get this in terms of RBA and RB because there are two unknowns here. Let us see what we get when we find summation Fy equals to 0. So this is minus 129.6363 cos of 39.5212, then plus RBA cos 53.1301 minus 200. So from this we can find RBA. Once we find RBA, we can find RB using this equation. So I just have to put RBA into this equation and I'll get RB. RB I get is 482.4959 newtons. Okay, so I got RB. Now see, in this numerical, the only thing that is asked is this RA. This is what is asked, nothing else is asked. Now if you see, if I draw all the forces on this entire system, see, we have RC, we have RB, we have RA, we have this vertical force which would be there from the bottom point. We call it as let us say it is RAV. Okay, it is acting at the bottom point from the bottom of the cylinder. But if you see on the entire system, see, when we are drawing forces on the entire system, we cannot show these reactions which are in between. Those reactions we cannot show. Those reactions will only be seen when we draw FBD of individual body. But when we are drawing the entire, or when we are drawing the force reactions on the entire system, that time we can only show the external reactions or the reactions which are acting on the system. So your RA can be directly found out using summation Fx equals to 0 on the entire system, that is RC minus RB, or we can say RA plus RC is equal to minus RB is equal to 0. So RA would be RB minus RC. If you remember, RB is 42.4959. Let us see what was RC quickly. So RC was 82.4958. So RB minus RC, if I do, that is 82.4958. I'll get RA equals to 400 newtons directly. See, we did not even have to draw the FBD of A, but we will try to solve it using FBD of A also. We will draw the FBD of A also, but this is one of the shortcut that I am telling you, that we can apply the summation Fx equals to 0 on the entire system and we'll get RA also. Okay, so now let us find it using FBD of A. So A, we have 75 newtons acting downwards, then RA is there, RAB is there, and this RA dash, which is the vertical reaction. So again here we have 4 forces, or including the reaction, 4 forces or 4 reactions. So we cannot apply Lami's theorem here, we have to compulsorily apply the conditions of equilibrium. Now here we know the angle beta. If I apply summation Fx equals to 0, summation Fx equals to 0 will be RA minus 500 sine of beta is equal to 0, so Ra will be equal to 400 newtons. So you see that we get Ra like this also. So using both the methods you can find Ra, and this is how we solve this numerical. Let us solve one more numerical. We have 400 mm, 600 mm and again 400 mm radius for these spheres A, B and C. The weights are given 300, 600 and 300. I need to determine the reactions at P, Q, R and S, right? So again, which sphere or which cylinder to start with, that is the question. So we start by drawing the FBD of all these spheres. So starting with this point A, we have its weight, then we have the reaction P, we have the reaction from cylinder B, and call it as RBA. Then we have this cylinder B, the reaction is 600. Then we have this, the weight is 600, the reaction R is there, reaction Q is there, reaction R AB is there, and reaction R CB is there. So these are the reactions that are acting on this cylinder B. When we talk about the cylinder C, if I draw the FBD of cylinder C, this is acting downwards 300, this is S, this is your RBC, right? So there are total three forces here. There are total 3 forces on A, 3 forces on C. So you can either start with cylinder A or you can start with cylinder C. Both are fine. Both are equally solvable, equally easy to solve. But the question is, we need to find the angles. If you are using this cylinder A first, you need to find this angle. So this angle is quite easy to find. See, if I draw a line like this much is 400, this much is 600, this much distance is 600 minus 400, which is 200. So let us say this is alpha, I say. So alpha will be equal to sine inverse of, I'll write it as 600 minus 400 upon 600 plus 400. That is the opposite upon the hypotenuse. So this is how you get alpha. So okay, this question is solved. We can now apply the Lami's theorem on cylinder A and we can find P and RBA. Not a problem. If you want to start with cylinder C, then you need to find this angle first of all, right? That is one of the angle, or this angle. I won't say it alpha, let us say it something else. So you can find this angle or you can find this angle, anyone is fine. For also you will have to find angle between S and 300. Angle between S and 300 is easy to find. See, if I drop a vertical, you can see in this right angle triangle, this is 60. If this is 30, this is 60. Here this is 60, so this has to be 30. So angle between S and 300 is 30 degrees. Not a problem. The question is how to find this angle. Now this is a really tough thing to ponder upon. So I'll directly tell you what we have to do is, in this kind of situation, let us say that I draw a parallel line. First of all, let me show the angle that we are actually finding. So this is the angle. See, this is the angle that I want to find. Okay, if I extend this line, you cannot be sure that this line meets point S or not. So don't use this right angle thing, it won't work. Okay, it is not going to work. In fact, I have drawn an AutoCAD for this. I'll just show it to you. So you can see here that this is the same problem that I've drawn, and when we draw this horizontal, you can see that it does not meet at this point. So you cannot even use anything. See, like, so if you see in this right angle triangle, you cannot actually find this distance. Means with trigonometry, we do not know what is this distance, so that is why we cannot use this right angle triangle. Neither we can use this right angle triangle, because this hypotenuse is not touching this point, so we cannot call it as a right angle triangle there, right? And neither is this 90 degrees. So what we have to do exactly? See, so what we can do is that we can draw a line parallel to this 30 degrees line, 30 degrees inclined line. So we can draw a line like this, and same we can draw a line from B this way. Okay, so now I can find this angle. I'll call it as beta, and similarly this would be also beta. Beta will be sine inverse of this much distance is 400 minus 600, which is 200. 200 upon the hypotenuse, which is 600 plus 400, which is 1000. So that is beta. This entire angle, let us say it is gamma. No, this entire angle is, you can see it is 30 degrees, right? So this is 30 degrees, and let us say the angle that we want is gamma. So gamma is 30 degrees minus beta. Okay, so this is how this angle gamma we have to find, which is 30 minus beta. A little bit of tricky trigonometry here. So let us start. We now know how to find the angles. Alpha, this angle I am calling as alpha. So alpha is 11.5370. This is alpha, so this has to be alpha. For Lamy's theorem, I took the RB on the upper end. The tail of all the forces I brought together. So this is alpha, this is 90 minus alpha, this is 90 minus alpha, this is 90, and this is 90. So we get all the angles here. We can now apply our Lamy's theorem. So it is RBA upon sine 90 is equal to P upon sine of this angle is equal to 300 upon sine of 101.5370. I get RBA and I get P. I think this is P, this is not RC, this is P. Okay. Yes, the reaction P. After getting this, we can now come to the FBD of C, where I told you how to find the gamma angle. Gamma is 30 minus 11.5370, which is 18.4630. So this is acting downwards. This angle is 30 degrees. RCB is there. The angle, this angle is gamma. I have to take all the tail of the forces. This is S. I have to take all the tail of the forces to this point. So this is gamma. This is 30. This would be 30. This would be gamma. This is 90 minus gamma. This is again 90 minus gamma. This is 60 and this is 60. So we get all the angles. This way we can apply the Lamy's theorem here. So we get RCB and S. RCB is 153.0931 and S is 290.4264. then we can apply this on now cylinder B. Cylinder B is the only thing that is left. So RCB we know, RBA we know, Q and R we have to find, and these are five forces in total. Plus we cannot apply Lami's theorem, we have to apply the conditions of equilibrium. So summation Fx equals to 0. Let us say this is 78.4630 and this is my gamma, right, because this is the angle that we had found, gamma, right, and this angle is actually 90 minus your alpha, which is 78.4630. So RBA is acting downwards, means the y component is downwards, x component is to the right. For RCB, y is down, x is to the left. So when we do summation Fx equals to 0, it is Q plus RBA cos of this angle minus R, okay, this is also there. So here we have this 30 minus R sin 30 minus RCB cos of gamma. We get this as Q in terms of Q and R, because RBA and RCB we already know. When we apply summation Fy equals to 0, minus RBA sine of this angle plus R cos 30 minus 600 minus RCB sine gamma. So from this equation I can find R. After finding R, I just have to substitute it in this equation to get Q. So you will get R and then you will also get Q from this equation. Let us solve number numerical. The rope of length 4.5 meter is hanged between points A and D. Distance between A and D is 4 meters. The load of 1500 Newton is hanged at point B, which is 1.5 meters for rope length, and another load of value W is hanged at point C at a rope length of 1 meter. So this is 1 meter, this is 1.5 meter. Total ABCD is 4.5 meters here. Okay. What I need to do is, when I apply this load W at point C, there will be a point when the entire system will attain equilibrium, and what we want is, when the system attains equilibrium, this point B and point C, they rest on the same level, or they are on the same level. So we need to find what value of load W I have to put such that B and C remains at the same level. That is the entire question. So ABCD is 4.5, AD is 4 meters, AB is 1.5, CD is 1 meter. So BC will be 4.5 minus 1.5 minus 1. It comes out to be 2 meters, right? Now, since we want our point B and point C to be at the same level, we will start with this assumption itself that both are at the same level, and then we will find the load W. When we start with this assumption, only then we will get the load W which is required for that assumption, right? So we will say that both are at a level of Y from the top chord. Okay. Now this is a very simple problem where we have to apply Lami's theorem. Ideally, I have to apply Lami's theorem at this point because I need to find W. But when I apply Lami's theorem at this point, I don't know TCB, I don't know TCD, neither do I know W. So none of the loads I know, so I cannot apply the Lami's theorem at this point directly. But if I apply the Lami's theorem at this point, I know at least one force. So I can find TBC, which is equal to TCB, and I can also find TBA if required, but it's not required, you can find it. So I have to compulsorily apply Lami's theorem at point B. But there is one more problem again, that we do not know the angles. The angles at which these diagonal strings are acting. So again, this angle is not known to us, right? So those angles we have to find first. Let's say this is angle alpha, this is angle beta. So to find these angles, let us say that this is P and this is Q. Okay. Now what I know is P plus this much distance is 2 actually, 2 meters, and the total is 4 meters. So P plus 2 plus Q is 4. What I can find from this relation is I can find Q in terms of P. So Q is equal to 2 minus P. Okay. Now what I can do is P square plus Y square is 1.5 square. 2 minus P the whole square plus Y square is 1 square. This Y square further I can substitute as 1.5 square minus P square. So now the entire equation is in terms of P. I can find P. P comes out to be 1.3125 meters. Once I find P, I can find Q, which is 2 minus P. So it is 0.6875 meters. Now once I know P and Q, I can find this angle alpha and angle beta. Alpha is cos inverse of 1.3125 upon 1.5. Beta is cos inverse of 0.6875 upon 1. So I get alpha, I get beta. Now it's a simple problem where I have to just use the Lami's theorem. First we'll draw the FBD of B, because as I told you that we have to compulsorily apply Lami's theorem at point B first. This is your angle alpha. This would be 180 minus alpha. This is 90 and this is 90. So by applying Lami's theorem, we get TBC as 2711.0911 and TBA is 3098.3891. Actually this is not required, but just for your knowledge we can find it. Now after finding this TBC, I can now apply my Lami's theorem at point C, where this angle is beta. This is 180 minus beta. This is 90. So applying the Lami's theorem to this, we can find W. W comes out to be 2863.6429 newtons. So that's it for today's lecture. Till then, take care. Thank you.